Yeah, hi guys. So finally we are starting our most awaited topic, that was data types and variables. Anyhow, we used these variables and data types earlier in the previous sessions, but today we'll be having detailed discussion on the variables and the data types, right? So without wasting the time, let us start the topic today, that is data types and variables in Java. Now, this is one of the very much important basic topic which every programmer must know, because without this there is no program only. See, you are going to have data in you, data with you, but how will you store that data? If you store it, then only you can reuse that data. Okay. So first of all, the main target here is there is some data. We need to store that data. So to store that data, we need the memory. So how will I create that memory? You are going to. So for that reason only, we are learning this chapter, that is data types and variables. Here we will see that how do we create the variable, first thing. Then we will see what are the different data types which are used to create the variables. Then we'll also discuss about the differences between the data types. Then we will see the real-time examples of using those variables in some of the real-time scenarios. After that, if time will permit for today, then we'll continue with the types of variables. Otherwise, in the next session, we'll be continuing types of variables with real-time scenario. So today, data types is the topic. Data types and variables in Java. Data types and variables in Java. Now, to start these data types and variables in Java, first question arises here. What is a data type? Then we have, why do we need a data type? Then what are the different types of data types? Then we have, what is a variable? Then why do we need a variable? What are the different types of variables? Then next, what is the difference between, wait, not difference directly, let me add here with definition first, then differences and all. Next, what is a local variable? Then what is a static variable? Then what is an instance variable? Instance variable can also be termed as a non-static variable. Then when do we use local variable? See, different types of variables are there, but in which situation which variable has to be used, that is required for us. Okay. So next, when do we use static variable? You can take this as notes. Okay, every question's answers I'll write it down here only. In the video itself you'll get it, and then from the video while you're watching later you can write it down, or in the same moment when you're watching this video, that time also you can note it down. Okay. Now, when do we use a static variable? Then when do we use non-static variables or the instance variables? Non-static variables or the instance variables. Then can we have same variable names, or let's say, can we have multiple variables, multiple, let's say, local variables with same variable names? Then whatever will be the answer, we have to explain, like possible, not possible, if not possible, why not possible, if it is possible, then when it is possible. Those things we will see. Then can we have multiple static variables with same variable names? And then we need to explain the reason, whatever will be the reason, like if allowed, then why allowed, if not allowed, then why not allowed. Similarly, same question will be there for the non-static variables as well. Non-static variables, or you can also term it as instance variables. Okay. Then the next question that will come up here is, see, before this whatever we discussed was not like going to be asked in the interviews. Okay, very much small questions will be there, like what is a compiler, what is an interpreter, what are the features of Java, what is an operator, what are the different types of operators you have used. Those type of questions will only be there. But from now onwards, this is pure interview questions only I'm enlisting. What are the expected interview questions in any job role, let it be the Java developer job role or automation test engineer job role with Java, automation testing with Java. If you're going for it, then also this kind of questions only you can expect. Apart from this, there is no other question. Okay, chapter wise and topic wise only I'm enlisting the questions. Every question answer also I'm going to give you. Okay, now next we are having what if local variables and static variables will have same name. Next, what if local variables and instance variables have same name? How will you access them? Okay, so here, how will you access? How do we access? Here also, how do we access? Okay, next question number 18. How many variables can be created? How many variables can be created? Next basic question I'm giving. One basic question I'll add here. How do we access a variable? Then how many times we can access a variable? How many times we can access a variable? These are the most important first 20 questions from the data types and variables chapter. These 20 questions, if you're strong, means your basic is ready. You can further move for the little bit more advanced topic. Okay, now let us start solving these questions. These all are interview questions. These are expected interview questions. Apart from this, I don't think that you'll be getting any other question as a beginner. Next level of question will be there when we will be discussing about the final variable. Then we'll be discussing about a non-final variable, blank variable. All these things will come in the next part, not right now. As of the beginning, 20 questions are more than enough to solve. Okay, now different people are having different answers. Now I'm going to give my answer. If you want to add it into your answers, that will be fine. It is better for you. Okay, now the first question here, what is a data type? Okay, now what is this data type? Earlier also I told you data types are nothing but the keywords. All the keywords are not data types, but some keywords are considered to be the data types. Not only keywords, sometimes some word also are taken as the data types. Okay, so the first thing here I'll say, data types, data type is a keyword or a word which can be used to create a variable. It can be used to create a variable. By using data type only we can create variable. There is no other way that we can create variable. Okay, this is the first point. Point number one. Without the data type we cannot create a variable. That's why we learn data type first, then we learn variables, because without data type no variables will be created. Now second thing, what this data type will do apart from creating variable, what else it will do? It will tell the system. Data type gives information to the system. Data type gives information to the system about what? What are the information it is going to give? Let us see. All right. Now here we have got some value. Here we have got some value. Any value can be any type of value. Okay. Then what I want to do is, this value is, let's say for example, the value is 90. The value is 90 over here, and I want to store this value 90. Why will I store this value 90? Because I can reuse it. Now, real time scenario, I'll tell you. Here is one value. values somewhat like +91 7008 500 751. This is a value. Okay, then we have another value like Hyderabad. This is another value. Then we have another value like let us say India. Then I'll take another value. A second. Let me take one another value, that is 0. Then I have another value, that is 3. And then I have another value, all right. Now these are some values. Okay, now what I am going to do is, let us say for example I'm preparing one platform for you where you can do the practice and all for Java. You'll get the MCQs, you will get the interview questions, you'll get the class recordings, you'll get the communities, you will get some notifications and all will be there in the application. Now when I'm going to allow you to have that access to that application, what I need is, I want you to fill this data. What data? This is for example my data I'm going to use as a user in the application. So when I'm going to take the application, in the application there will be something called as a register. There will be something called as register. I need to register the user in the application. First thing, whenever you are using application, you need to register into it. Means you need to sign up into it. So whenever we are registering into the application, whenever I'm registering into the application, I need to give some input. I need to give some data. So let us say for example, I'm having a method named as register. Okay. Now, when I want to register, I need to pass this data to register or not. Register is my operation. Register is my operation. When I want to register, I need some input. Now, how will I pass this input to this operation? There I need variables. Why I need variables? Because when I will call this register, when I want to execute this register, let us say for example, after some lines of code, I want to call this register. I want to call the register. So when I'm calling the register, I want to pass the input. The first input that I'm going to take is +91 7008 500 This is my first input. Now from here I will transfer the input to register method. From here I'll transfer the input to the register method. But you see, in this register method, do I have anyone to hold this input? Is there anyone to store this value or hold this value? Let us understand it in this way. Here, suppose here you are over here, okay, and this side MS Dhoni is there. Okay, in the first I'm not keeping MS Dhoni. You're having a cricket ball with you. Now you are throwing that ball. You're throwing that ball towards the wicket. You're throwing the ball towards the wicket. Okay, there is a wicket. Okay, in the cricket ground you're having the wicket. Okay, now either you have a proper aim to hit the wicket directly, or else you need someone's support over here. What support you want? You want MS Dhoni over here. You want Dhoni to be here. Dhoni is one of the best wicket keeper. You know it very well. Yes or no? Now Dhoni is over here. If Dhoni is over here, what he will do? He will obviously hold the ball and then he will hit the wicket. So here Dhoni is going to be my container. The person who will hold this ball. The cricket ball that I will throw, Dhoni will be there, the container who will hold it. Once he hold it, after that he can reuse the same ball to hit the wicket. Same way, similar story I want to provide here, that I am going to do register. I want to do the registration. If I want to do the registration, obviously I need to give some input. This is my input. This data is my input. Now when I want to transfer this input to the register, in the register there must be someone to hold that input. I need one container for it. Come on, I need one container for it or not? Then only I can store this data ना. सिंपल सी बात है, कोई अगर फेंक रहा है तो पकड़ने के लिए भी तो कोई चाहिए. Yes or no? So here that container that I will create is nothing but a variable. This is a real-time scenario I can give. What we will do with this container now? First thing, once the input is passed to this register operation, one container is available. In that container, this data will be stored. In that container, the data will get stored. Once the data is stored, after that, you can reuse the data in this complete operation or not. Wherever it is required, you can use it over here in the operation. Wherever it is required, you can reuse the data. You don't have to redefine the data. You have to reuse the data. Data is already there with you. You have a copy of data. Now you can just reuse it. So instead of declaring the value again and again, you just reuse it from the variable. Okay. So two things are coming up. First thing, variable means the container where the data will be stored. Why do we need it? Because I want to reuse the data. That's why I need it. Now, how will I create it? To create it, I need the support of data type. Story is clear, guys? Can you please respond in the chat? Is the story clear or not? Yeah. Send keys is one predefined method that we are using in our scripts. Okay. That send keys method is also you can say it to be a parameterized method. We'll discuss about parameterized method. The send keys method will be ready to receive your input. Whatever input you have given, that will be passed to the placeholder or the text box that you're having in your web page. Correct. But send keys is not the variable. Send keys is actually the method. In that method, we pass the data, which will be reused. All right. Okay. Chalo. Send keys and all we'll discuss. Don't worry. I will be starting automation very soon, guys. But that automation will be, I guess, will take little bit more time. But very soon, I'm planning to start it. Okay. Automation also we are starting very soon. We are starting. Slowly, all the courses will be started. Just let me be free from some work. Some work is going on. Once the work is over, after that I'll start that also. Okay. Why I'm not starting automation right now is I want people to be strong in Java first, because if you're strong in this core Java, I can start automation, I can start advanced, I can start Spring also. Without this core Java, we cannot understand 1% also in any of the next concept. That's why these things we learn first. After that, the upcoming things I'll start. Waiting for automation, yeah. Okay, definitely I'll do that. Don't worry. Okay, then, chalo. Now we got one basic idea that we are going to have a container. In that container, we will store some value so that we can reuse the value. Okay. Now to create that container only, we need the data type. Now what data type will do? You see, first thing, when the data type is used, now to create the container, I have to give instruction to the system. I need to tell to the system, hey system, what you are doing there? Please create one container for me. I want to store the data. Now system will be like, okay, the developer is asking me to create the container. I will create it. Pakka I'll create it. But developer is not telling me how much big container he wants. Developer is not even telling me like what type of data he will store. Developer is not even telling me what will be the range of value he will store. Developer is not even telling me that, okay, this is the developer system. How much memory I should take for this container? We need, as a developer, we need to tell all these things to our system. That system, I need this much big memory. I will store this type of data. The range of data will be this much. The memory that you have to take, the memory you have to allot for this container must be this much. These all things we must tell to the system. Then only system can do the work. System will randomly will not take any information by its own. You give the information to the system. For information compulsorily required for memory creation. So here all those four information will be notified by using data types. The informations are what the information data type will give. The data type gives information to the system about first information, how much memory should be allotted for the variable. Variable means container here. Second information is how many values should be stored in the variable. This is the second information. Third information is what range of value will be stored in the variable. Next, one more thing. Wait, here, let me put it in the last. Now here, how many values? After that, what type of value should be allowed in the variable. Now, why all this drama? See, you will ask the system to create a variable. System will suppose take a huge memory. You want only 2 bytes, but system is taking 2 MB. Don't you think so? It's a waste of memory. You are using only 2 bytes, but 2 megabytes of memory is taken. Unnecessary memory wastage, na? As a developer, you need to think of the space also. If you take care of the space, then only your application become more stable. Unnecessary memory you will waste means what will happen? Your system will start lagging. Your application will slow down. So you need to take care of that memory also, that how much memory I should use. Unnecessary memory I should not consume. My application, suppose you designed one application today, that application is suppose taking 20 GB. Do you think anyone will install that application through Play Store? 20 GB, the size of the application is 20 GB. You think anyone will download that application in mobile? 20 GB? 2 GB also, PUBG 2 GB or 2.5 GB we are installing. That time also we are taking tension. How much time it is taking, this much memory it is consuming. We are thinking. Think of it, 20 GB if it will take. How much time we'll have to wait? Unnecessary 20 GB memory will be wasted from our system or not? So we need to think of the memory. Whenever we are taking variables, we need to think of it, that when my application is running, anyhow the application will be running. At that time it will take some data. It will take some memory. How much memory I should consume? Because if all the memory I'll take only for the variables, then what memory will be left out for execution? Obviously the application will slow down. So we need to think all these things. Okay, now how much memory should be allocated for the variable? That one we need to think. How many values we are going to store, whether we are going to store single value or we are going to store multiple values, that also differs. Data type to data type it will differ. Then what type of value we have to store? Are we going to store a number? Are we going to store a number? Then if the number is integer, then it should be a different memory. If the number is a decimal number, it should be a different memory. Otherwise data will be lost. Let's say for example, we created here one memory. This is my memory. Now this memory is supposed to store an integer. Memory is supposed to store an integer. You tried to store integer 1000 you stored. Okay, you stored 1000. Don't go with the size of these letters. Okay, just accept. Okay, now you are saying that no, I want to store 1000.982. Think of it. Where will you put this 1000.982? Point after the point, the remaining value, this remaining data, it is not getting loaded. This remaining data is not getting loaded. That means what? This data is lost now. So in that case, if you are creating a variable or if you're taking a memory with a plan that I will store the integer into it, but you are trying to store decimal, obviously the system will say, "Arey waste fellow, what you are doing? Dabba fellow, why you are creating this kind of memory? You are asking me to create a memory to hold integer, but you are giving me decimal. Where I will store this decimal? In your house I will store this decimal? No." So in that case, we need to plan it properly. We need to specify in the beginning only. In the beginning only, we'll decide, okay, I will store integer, I will store double, or I will store string, or will I store a single character, or will I store a small range of data, or will I store a big range of data? All those things has to be planned in the beginning only. And from where will I get the plan? With experience will get the plan, Baba. When you start coding, slowly with experience will get it. Variable we will be okay. Can we declare the variable and then reuse it based on required data types? Can we declare the variables and then reuse it based on required data type? We create variables based on data types, no? Can we? Okay, you are like, can we convert the value? Yes, we can convert the value. You can convert it, no issue. The choice is yours whether you will convert it in the same memory where you created or you are going to take a new memory. Yeah, we can reuse it in the multiple class, but that time it should not be a local variable. If you're taking local variable, then from the method or from the block or from the constructor, you need to pass it again to another method, block, constructor of another class when you are calling. We'll go through it, don't worry. We'll discuss about all these things. Okay, so now what is a data type? Data type is a keyword or a word which can be used to create variable, and data type gives information to the system about how much memory should be allotted for the variable, how many values should be stored in the variable, what type of value should be allowed in the variable, and what range of value will be stored in the variable. 200% guarantee. If they ask you what is data type, you give this definition. This point you give, Pakka interviewer will be happy. Okay, if you want to add more over here, then you can add, but this is more than enough for the question what is the data type. Okay, okay, then now, sir, why do we need a data type? What is the reason? Obviously half of the answer is already there in the top here. Why do we need? Not half, complete answer is there in the definition. Why do we need a data type? We need a data type especially to create a variable. We need a data type especially to create a variable, because without the data type, because without the use of, without the support of data type, let's say without the support of data type, it is not possible to create the variable. Without data type we cannot create the variable. Like for example, I'm telling you that boss, please come and store the value 70 you have to store. Okay, you took a variable, named it as num and stored 70. Today you are saying 70, but tomorrow someone will come and say here in words 70. Now, how the system will get to know? Java is not like Python that simply you create the variable without the data, without the data type. Java is little bit different. Java needs people, legendary mind it needs, people with great mind. Okay. In Python, you can write, like without data type you do, but in Java, legend mind is required. Okay. So, like this, it's not possible to create a variable. Let's say, for example, only num you provided. Now, what this num will do, what it will store, how much memory it will take, what type of value you will store, all this information you have to give now. That's why before this num only data type is required. Means I want to store that integer data, so I must create it with type int. Int is the data type and num is the variable. Int is the data type. This int type is telling to the system how much memory should be allocated. It will take 4 bytes of memory. How many values you can store? You took int with no array here. Simple variable creation you did. You didn't create the array. So you didn't create array. You didn't even like went for this collection side. In your collection side, this is not going to be created like int. That time array list, linked list, those kind of things you'll use. So right now int num, a simple normal variable created with 4 bytes of memory. Sir, how you got to know? When will I get to know all these 4 bytes or 2 bytes? I'll enlist all those types, don't worry. Okay, now see, we need a data type to create a variable, because without the support of data type it is not possible to create the variable. It is the rule. Without data type, if you try also, during compilation you'll get error. Okay, system will not allow you, because compiler is the one, like you just think compiler like a well-wisher of JVM. JVM is a bacha fellow, small kid who doesn't know anything. You tell JVM, 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 go to the 5th floor, jump from there. You will go jump. You will not think of consequences. But there must be someone before the JVM is executing anything blindly. Before JVM executes anything, there must be someone to verify na this is correct or not correct. So that's why compiler is that well-wisher. He will verify that JVM can do it or not. Without verification, if you tell the JVM to do anything, pakka it will do wrong things only. Okay. Now, what are the different types of data types? Now, based on the type of variable we are creating, where number of values will be planned, where type of values will be planned, where range of value will be planned, different types of data types will come. Now, for that understanding, let us say for the first, let us say I have multiple categories, but first there are two types you see. There are two types of data types which will be further recategorized. Okay, first two types. Number one, primitive data type. Next, number two, non-primitive data type, which is also termed as referenced data type. Okay, this is also termed as referenced data type. Hold a second. One second, guys. Okay, one second, guys. Actually, the current went off all of a sudden. Only in my room. Okay, leave it. Now, there are two types of data types. That is primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type is also termed as reference data type. Now, why we got these two categories? Why not 5 categories? Why not 20 categories? Why not 4 categories? That is the question. So for that, let me say there are two types of data types based on type of value to be stored. Type of value to be stored. Suppose, why I am saying this type of value, you see. Suppose I go for just normal literals like this. This is my normal literals. Wait, these normal literals are 0. Wait, let me write it down for you. Normal literals are like 100, 10,987, then a little bit big value, then more bigger value. Okay, exact value I'm not taking, just example I'm saying. Okay, then after then some value like this, and then some value like this, then some value like a single character, some value like true or maybe false, some value like within double quotes you take data like apple. Okay, now these are different type of data. These are different type of data. What type of data? Let us see. Here, this first category of data that I'm showing you, this first category of data is going to be termed as integer data or the integer literal. First type of data that we are seeing here is this category. This is integer literal. Literal means data only you can take. Okay. Then over here, this category, the second category. You see, I'm giving some space also to categorize them. This category is for double. Let me take it as double. Hey, what happened to you? This is double. This is double. Then next category I'm having over here for this one. For this one, I'm having another category that is going to be termed as character. Single character, not character, let's say single character. Single character. Then another category I'm having over here. This category is conditional values. Na? We saw yesterday conditional values. So we just term them as Boolean values or Boolean literal. Boolean literal. Okay. The single character, nothing but let's say it as more technically, I will say it as character literal. And this one, the double that I'm saying here, this double is going to be a real literal. Real literal. First, integer literal, real literal, character literal, boolean literal. Then the last one over here is this last one. This one is a string literal. This one is a string literal. Now there is one more literal which is not a keyword but looks like a keyword. and that literal is without any double quotes or anything, just null. Null means nothing. But in Java, this nothing creates a lot of problem. When there is nothing means there is null. For object reference, there is null. What is object, what is reference, we'll see. Now this is termed as a null literal. So what we found out here, we found out that the values that we will use or the data that we will use in the programs, those data are or those values are going to be termed as literals. See, we are covering literals topic as well. So what are these literals? Literals means the values that we will use. Literals means the values that we will use. Okay, so what type of values we are having here? We are having integer literal, real literal, character literal, boolean literal, string literal, and null literal. So how many types we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 types of literals are there. Okay, there are 6 types of literals: integer literal, real literal, character literal, boolean literal, string literal, and null literal. So basically 6 types of values or 6 type of literals are there. As there are different types of literals, there will be different type of data types again. But before that, based on literals, before that, number you see. Here, let us say this much category, this much category comes under single value. This category of values come under single value. They all are considered to be single value. But here, this fellow, this fellow comes under multiple value. This fellow comes under multiple value. Please keep it in mind. We have got total 6 different types of literals. These 6 types of literals I'm just categorizing again in different type. That is, I have values which are considered to be single value. Let us say 100, this is a single value. 10,987, this is another single value. Single. This is single value. This is single value. This L extra is nothing but I'm representing that this is a little bit long number, large number. Okay. Then this one 67.90, this is a single value. You can put F over here, meaning I'll tell what is this F. Here I'm putting D. What is the meaning of D? I'll tell. Now this is A. This is coming under single value. True looks like multiple value, multiple character, but it is not multiple character. This is single value. True and false, these are literals. They are not keywords. Keep that in mind. These are literals, not keywords. They also come under single value. Apple comes under multiple value. Null comes under object type or the reference value. Reference value. Reference value will come under multiple. Okay. Reference value will come under multiple only. Reference value comes under multiple. This reference comes under multiple. So here, how many types I have got? What are the different types of data types? There are 2 types of data types based on the type of value. Let's say instead of type of value, now can I say number of value, or let's say type of value or number of value or number of value. Let us take like this. Okay, based on type of value or number of value. So 2 types are there. First one is primitive data type. When I take primitive data type, that means I'm talking about memory for single value. When I take non-primitive type or referenced data type, that time I'm talking about multiple value or reference. Multiple value or reference. Reference of object. Just take it as reference of object. This much is clear. Any confusion up to here? Please ask. Feel free to ask, guys. Don't take stress. You can ask, no problem. Anywhere, anything you're not understood, please ask. Don't think of it like later the video is in recorded session. I'll watch the recorded video again. Don't do like that. Please ask. Okay, I'll hold for a minute. Let's see. Anyone is having any doubt anywhere? First, I'll clear their doubts, then we'll continue. Okay, please put your doubts anywhere. Is there any doubt? Is there anywhere you didn't understand any word or any example? Please ask. I'll repeat that again. Okay, now. So we got two different types of data types. One is primitive and the another is non-primitive. Now, here, primitive data types. Whenever we need a memory to store single value, not single type. When we want to store single value, means which are the single values types here? Integer literals, real literal, character literal, boolean literal. When you want to store this type of data, when you want to store any of this type, integer, real, character or boolean, every time you must take support of primitive type data type or primitive data type, you can say. Suppose you want to store multiple value or a reference value, in that case you need to go for non-primitive data type or a referenced data type. So your integer literal, you want to store integer literal, real literal or boolean literal. For this, you need a support of primitive data types. To create the variable where this type of values will be stored. Data type will not store the value, guys. Variable will store the value. Please be clear with this. Many people say that data type will store value. No, data type will not store value. Actually, data type is used only to create the variable. The variable will store the value. So to store this type of values, which type of values? Integer literal, real literal, character literal or boolean literal. They all come under single value category. If you want to create a memory which can store single value, you want to create a memory which can store single value. In that case, use primitive data types. Okay. Now, are these data types integer, real? Are these data types? No, they are just types of literals, not data types. Next, if you want to store multiple value like a string value, or you want to store the reference of object, in that case, you are going to take support of referenced data type. Okay. Clear with this? So we covered literals, we covered types of literals. And over here, we also covered data types and types of data type, that is primitive data type and reference data type. Okay. When we will study about updates of Java, that time I'll add one more type of literal over here. Okay. That one more type of literal we'll see later. Some binary literal concept will come. We'll see that time later, not now. As of now, just hold this concept and go with the flow. Don't start doing comparison right now. Array, somewhere else I heard something, here something. No. My plan is from the basic to the top. Basics to advance. At once, I don't want to give everything. Okay, because we have some people who are not even that much strong in English also. So they should also understand this level of Java. There are people who are not at all like ever used system. Okay. Can we convert primitive into reference? That is possible with wrapper classes. When we will go for wrapper classes, you'll see that. We can convert primitive to reference type to primitive we can do. Wrapper classes chapter will come, that time we'll see. Boxing, unboxing concepts will be there. The chapter is coming, that time we will see. Okay, now let us come back over here. So we got two different data types, that is primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Now see, this primitive data type is further categorized. Primitive data type is categorized into further types. You don't have to specify that type. If you don't want, don't specify. Mainly primitive and non-primitive you specify, but you want to explain more. If the interviewer is expecting more from you, then you can add this point into it. Primitive data types is categorized into the following types based on type of value. Based on type of value. What is that? First one, numeric type. Second one, non-numeric type. There are numeric type value and there are non-numeric type of value. Now, which are numeric and which are non-numeric? Let us see. Now, look at here. Whichever are numbers, they come under numeric type. So, this one, these all are numbers. This is number. So, these two will come under numeric types. They come under numeric types. Okay, these two categories are coming, these two are coming under category of numeric types. Means integer literal, real literal, they come under numeric type. All right, then there is non-numeric type. When I say non-numeric means there will be no number. Number is not there. So no number means here character literal, boolean literal, and this string literal and null literal. They all come under non-numeric type. These all come under non-numeric. Character you can take as numeric only when that is converted into ASCII value. If character you are taking and if it is taken as ASCII value, for A there is some value like American Standard Code for Information Interchange, one rule is there. According to that, uppercase A means 65. Okay, so if you're converting A into that numeric, then it will come under numeric. Otherwise, just A you are considering is, if for that visualization, non-numeric. Keep it as non-numeric. Otherwise, you can, some people can take it as numeric also. Okay, 2 years or more than 2 years? It's more than 2.5 years. You studied about it. Nearly 3 years. 3 years ago you studied. Okay, now coming back over here, as we are having numeric type and non-numeric type, I'm going to categorize these primitive types. Under numeric type, this numeric type is again categorized. Numeric type is further categorized. Numeric type is further categorized based on a range of value and size of memory. A range of value and size of memory to be allocated. Okay, what are they? Now see, we have byte, short, int, long. After that, we have float and double. So these are the actual primitive data types. Byte, short, int, long, float, double. These are actual primitive data types. These are keywords. Byte is a keyword, short is a keyword, int is a keyword, long is a keyword, float is a keyword, double is a keyword. Okay. Every keyword is different from each other. Every data type is having different feature. different memory size it will allocate, different range of value it can store. But all these are used to store single value at a time. In your variable, if you want to store single value at a time, then you take byte, short, int, long, float, or double. Any of these can be used based on the requirement. Okay. Now, I didn't used to troll you guys. Actually, I said to everyone that your group will be the first group will get placed first. And it happened also. From your group, from your batch, you, Suyog, all these people were there. Huh? You guys got the placement first. You guys got placed first, na? Okay. All right. Old days are old days. Let's plan with the new things now. Okay. Okay, then now let's see. Byte, short, int, long, float, double. Why are they used? What is the difference and all? We'll see now. Okay. Now, after that, when we talk about non-numeric, this non-numeric is again having further types. Non-numeric is categorized based on type of value, not range. Not range, not memory. Here type. What are they? We can take char and we can take boolean. Okay. Now coming under non-primitive data type or reference data type, I'll discuss this one a little bit later. Now first let's discuss these things, what they are and why we are using these fellows. So for that, let us see one small table. So here I'm taking data types, memory size that it will consume, first data type, then the memory size that it will consume. 1 second. After then, the range of value that it will allow. If you are taking a particular data type, then how much memory will be consumed for a variable using that data type, how much range of value you can store in that variable once you create that variable using that particular data type. Those things we are going to see. And one more thing, when we will discuss non-primitive data type, that time here, some like Rohit asked here, I guess, Rohit asked here, can I convert the primitive into reference data type? Yeah. So for that conversions, here we are having some predefined classes. See, till now we created our own class. Yes or no? We created classes like billing system. We created classes like discount eligibility. Those predefined classes will be different. Those classes that we created till now, the classes that we created till now, they all are user defined. We created. But in Java, already some predefined things are there. Predefined classes will be available. Predefined classes are there, predefined interface, predefined method, predefined variable. Lot of predefined things are there. Okay, so there will be a scenario where we will try to convert a primitive type data into reference type. That scenario we'll see in future. But from now only, just keep that in mind. Just enlist out. What are they? Corresponding wrapper classes. These are predefined classes. For every primitive data type, there will be a corresponding wrapper class. And that wrapper class will help you to convert primitive into reference or reference into primitive. So now, first data type, byte. Then we have short. Then int. Then long. After that, another category is there, float. Then we have double. After then, another category, char. Another category, boolean. Now you look at here, how many primitive data types are there? Total 8 primitive data types are there. In count, total 8 primitive data types are there. For all these primitive data types, their corresponding wrapper class will be there. And the wrapper class will start with the same name. The wrapper classes will be the same name as like this primitive data type. Only this int will be different. And then char will be different. Apart from that, all these primitive data types are going to have corresponding wrapper class, and all the corresponding wrapper class will have the same name as their primitive data types only, except int and char. Okay, we'll see them. Okay, now first, what is the difference when I create a variable using byte, short, int, and long? What will happen in the background? what will happen if I create variable with this different data types? Okay, so for that, let us take one small example. Class test the data types. So class test data type I'm taking. All right, let me just, for understanding only, let me create this program for you. Okay, now first creating a variable. First I'll be creating a variable using byte. Then I will create a variable, creating a variable using short. Then I will be creating a variable using int. Then I'll be creating a variable using long. Okay, we'll create one variable and then we will see what a difference it is making. Okay, now let me first save this file. Yesterday day 9, today day 10. Test data type dot java. All right, now first we are going to create a variable using byte. What will happen, you see. Now let me add one question for you here. One question I missed that time. The question was, what is the syntax of creating a variable? Means how do we create the variable? Using data type only, na? So how do we actually write the code? So the syntax is, first, this is just separation, okay? Don't use this angular brackets. This is just for separation. First, we need a data type. Whatever data type we have got, you use that data type. Then you need to provide a space. Then we use a variable. Simple. This is the syntax. If you're not understanding this angular braces, let me leave. Remove this angular braces. Okay, this is the syntax. First you put the data type, then you put the variable. Just like mathematical formulas. This is a formula. In this formula, you put the value. That's it. What is data type? Which data type I'm going to use? What I want? First requirement, creating a variable using byte data type. So what will I write here? To create that byte variable, what shall I write? I must write the data type byte. Then I must use a variable name. Come on, yes or no? Huh. Now the question arises that in which situation, which data type I will use? Correct or not? Okay, now suppose, for example, first let's create one normal dummy variable. Okay, if I'll take one dummy variable for the byte, let's say byte is going to be the smallest, like byte is going to be a data type which is going to consume the lowest memory in comparison of your int, short, long. Among all this, the byte is going to consume the lowest memory. Okay, so let me think of a scenario where I'll use the byte. Generally, it will have some range also. Let us say, for example, you are going to see the current temperature somewhere. What's the okay, chalo, some example, 32 degrees Celsius is there right now, suppose. Now, the value that I want to store is for temperature. Let me take one example. Byte temperature. What is the current temperature? In real time for any city, is the temperature going to cross beyond 100 degree? Practically, you think? I want the response, guys. because I'm giving you real-time examples, so I need to understand that whether you're understanding these real-time examples or not. Please tell me, in the city right now, the city wherever you're like residing right now, in the city, is it possible ever right now for the next few years also, is it possible that the temperature will rise more than 100 degree? No, not possible at all. If the temperature crosses 50 means we are half boiled. Okay, so here I know that when I know that the temperature is not going to become too much high, I'm very much sure that the temperature will be within some range only, a small range, not a big range, small range data. Temperature is not going to be a huge data for the city. Let us take city temperature. Otherwise, you guys will say, sir, iron will be melted in 1000 degrees centigrade. Array, that thing is different. I'm talking about the city right now. Current, as per the current weather, the temperature will be within 50 only, wherever you go. Max to max 50. 100 it will not cross. So I know that it is going to be a fixed data, a small range of data. When I know that there is going to be a small range of data, I will always go for the byte. Keep that in mind. Whenever you know that there will be a small, very much small range, and what will be the range also I'll tell you. Okay, the range also I'll tell you. Just accept. Whenever there is a small range of value to be stored, small range of data you are going to store in a variable, create the variable with the type byte. You are 100% pakka sure that it is not going to cross that range. So in that case, you just take byte data type to create the variable. I hope it is clear now. Okay, now next, see, I created this Java Vault for you guys. Okay, now I'm preparing the platform where you guys will start practicing the codes and all. I know that in the initial days, I'm not going to have a huge number of aspirants or the students who want to learn Java. So in that case, to store the number of students in the beginning days, I know that it's not going to cross more than 50,000, more than 30,000. I know it. It will not cross. Initial days, it will not cross. Maybe in future, with the God's grace, it may cross, and with the support, it may cross the millions also. As of now, I'm thinking for the beginning days that will there will be not a big range of students, big number of students. But obviously, there are more than 100 to 200 students, more than 200 students. So, pakka it will be there. I knew about it. That obviously, I'm going to get more than 300 400 students. So, pakka I'll get. I knew it. Somewhere I was thinking that yes, pakka more than 300 400 I'll get. But I was not expecting that more than 600 I'll get. I didn't like even thought of it that more than 600 I will cross. But right now, at least I'm having little bit bigger range of number. When I have little bit bigger number of bigger range, apart from this byte, I have a apart from this byte range, I'm having little bit bigger, not too much big, like ranging up to some thousands. In that case, I will go for short, little bit, a little bit bigger value I'm going to store. So let's say short total students, little bit bigger range as compared to byte. What range? That one I will tell. Next, once I cross millions, which will definitely happen someday, once I cross millions, I'll start getting billions. Billions to trillions also it may happen. In that case, a bigger range will come, that is int. That is, I'll take subscribers. Int subscribers. Okay. Then apart from this, sometime it may happen that I'll do some startup and I will earn a lot of money, and then my app will be released and many people throughout the world will use the app. In that case, I will go for long population. How much population is using my app? A bigger, very much bigger value will be there. Okay, so small scenarios I have shown you. All right, so basically When you want very much small size of value to be stored in a variable, take support of byte, which will be used to create the variable in which you will store a small value. Little bit bigger value, go for short. Little bit more bigger, go for int. Little bit more bigger, go for the long. Clear? Any confusion over here, guys? Please ask. If any confusion is there, please ask. Okay, now let's see this side. Now the type that I have got here is first type is byte. When I create a variable using byte data type, which I created over here, byte city temperature, background what will happen? When I say byte city temperature, background what will happen? Byte city temperature. If I create a variable like this, byte city temperature, like this, if I create the variable, in that case, what will happen? Let us see. 1 second. What will happen over here? Here I'm actually asking the JVM, Array JVM, do one thing. Take some memory in the background. From the RAM, you will take the memory when you are executing the program. From the RAM, random access memory on which JVM will execute the program. Okay. Sorry, from where JVM will take some memory to execute the program. From the RAM only JVM will take the memory. JVM is not going to take your memory from the hard disk or SSD. It will take memory from the RAM, random access memory, a temporary memory. Okay. Now when JVM is executing, I'm telling the JVM, from the RAM, can you please take a memory whose name you have to give as city temperature, and please make sure that this memory which you are taking should not be so much big. It should be consuming. It should consume only 1 bit of memory. 1 bit of memory size. Do you really think 1 bit will be there? 1 bit is enough? No, 1 bit is not enough. 1 byte is required here. 1 byte. 1 bit we will use only for true or false. Boolean said. For the byte type, we are going to use 1 byte, means 8 bits. We are going to use 8 bits. 1 byte means 8 bits. 8 bits, 8 bits of memory. Please keep it in mind. 1 byte of memory size will be taken. Okay. 1 byte of memory for whom we are taking? For the city temperature. For the variable named as city temperature, we are taking 1 byte of memory. 8 bits of memory, not 1 bit. 1 byte of memory, 8 bits. And this memory which is taken from the RAM, this memory will allow you to store only integer literal. But there are a lot of integer values. What will be the range of value? That range will be allow to store value within. Allow to store value within -128 to 127. If your data is within this range, it will never cross the range. Between -128 to 127 only, you're going to have the data. In that case, please go for the byte, because it is going to consume small size of memory, and then the range also within this only. So the value will be within this range. When you're damn sure about it that pakka within this range only value will be there, in that case, go for the byte type variable. Clear, guys? Understood this story? This is what happens in the background. You're asking system to create a byte variable, na? So it is, we are actually asking the JVM take some memory from the RAM, and the memory size should be 1 byte of memory, not more than that. And in that 1 byte of memory, allow the values to be stored. The values will be within range of minus 128 to 127. More than that, if user will try to store, means give an error. Okay, clear with this? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm saying guys, one support is required right now. Initial days when we started, nearly 1600 or 1700 views we got on the first day. But slowly that, what do we say? That interest of studies has gone these days. Initial days, a lot of people supported me. First day, a huge support came to me. But right now, I guess those people whom you recommended, those people have forgotten the studies. So please share these videos. Please tell them that how this real time scenarios looks like, so that they can understand it. Okay, ask them to go through these videos daily. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, first story is clear. Next story. What is the next story? Next story is about short total students. Okay. Why I need this short total students? What actually it will do? Let's see. Now, I said that I'm expecting that in future, pakka 10,000 students, more than 10,000 students, I'm going to get some 20-30,000 students I'll get. Okay. Now, I need a bigger range. I cannot store 30,000 over here in byte type variable. So in that case, a bigger memory size is required. So for that, I took support of short. When I need a little bit bigger size, bigger memory size where I can store little bit bigger value, bigger ranged value. In that case, I'm taking support of short. So what is the meaning of this short total students? It means JVM, when you are executing, please take some memory from the RAM. Please take some memory from the RAM. Take memory from the RAM, and the memory that you will take, the memory that you will take should be of 2 bytes. Memory that you will take should be of 2 bytes. Don't take too much. 2 bytes is enough for me. 2 bytes of memory size. 2 bytes of memory size means 1 byte means 8 bits. So double is 16 bits. 16 bits memory size you have to take. So JVM will reserve 2 bytes of memory from the RAM. Suppose this is a big RAM. This is the RAM. From somewhere in the RAM, it will consume 2 bytes space. It will reserve this space. It will reserve this space. This space it will reserve. I'm not saying only in this corner. Can be from anywhere. Right? From be anywhere. Okay. And name of it is going to be, name of this space is going to be total students. Name of this space is going to be total students. Clear? Now, 2 bytes of memory size. Okay. How much value you are going to allow to store? Some range must be there, na? So allow to store value within a range of minus 32,768 to 32,767. Sir, how do you remember all these things? Earlier, I was also not knowing about it. Since the last 12 to 14 years, I'm teaching, I'm just into this Java. So, with this much experience, obviously, I'll remember na, this value. At least this much so I can remember. If you don't remember, don't worry. Interviewer will never ask you what is the range. If interviewer will have to ask, they will ask you what is the range of byte, what is the range of short. That's it. Max to max, interviewer's mind is like not good that day. Then you may be asked with long and int. Okay. Float and double size will be based on like approximate values you'll get. Float and double approximate value you'll get, not exactly. If you go for the float means 6 to 7 decimal points will get, and if you go for the double means approximately 15 decimal digits will get. After the point, that many digits you can take. Okay, now 2 bytes of memory size will be consumed for the short type variable, and in that variable you can store data within the range of minus 32,768 to 32,767. This is the range. Clear? Next story. I want more data, more than 32,000 subscriber I'm expecting in future. more than 32,000 subscriber I'm expecting, millions I'm expecting. Okay, in that case, I will go for int type. In that case, to store the count of subscriber, I'll go for int type. So here I will take int subscribers. So what is the meaning of this int subscribers for the system? For the system, when I say system, please do this int subscriber. So what system will understand? System will understand that developer is asking me to take a memory from the RAM. Take memory from the RAM, and the memory that I will take will be of some size. What will be the size? That is the question now. Now, when we are asking system to take memory from the RAM for for allotting the memory to this subscribers variable, allotting memory for the subscriber variable, then in that case, JVM will consume 4 bytes of memory. Okay, JVM will consume 4 bytes of memory. So this is the variable total students. One second. This is the variable total students. Then over here, this variable is subscribers. This variable is subscribers. Okay, now how much memory it will consume, sir? It will consume 4 bytes of memory size. It will consume 4 bytes of memory size. Okay, now how much range of value, big value you will get here? Little bit very much bigger value. And allow to store, allow to store, allow to store value within, allow to store value within a huge number is there actually, minus 2147483 to positive value 2147483, just like mobile number I remembered. Okay, 483647. You remember your favorite people mobile number, na? Same way you remember this one also. Just consider them as mobile numbers. This is, this one is mobile number of byte. You are good in remembering mobile numbers of your favorite people. So like that, remember it. This is mobile number of short. This is mobile number of int. Okay, just consider them to be the mobile number. It becomes easy for your mind to remember. Okay, then now we are having long population. All right, now what is this long population? Okay, subscriber I got. After that, channel will grow more. Number of more people, we can like get more people in our application, the Java Vault application. More like it will be worldwide used by a lot of people to continue learning the Java. So that time I'll get a huge population, huge number of members I'll get, more than the subscriber. So in that case, a little bit bigger memory I need, where I can store a bigger value. So if the value crosses with this range, if the value crosses this range crossed, this range crossed, so in that case I'll go for a bigger memory. The bigger memory I need for long population, long population. So here long population. Now which data type you will use, that depends on the situation, guys. Okay, simply blindly you don't use data types, you just see the situation. Based on the requirement only data type is decided. Okay, now when I take long, I'm expecting a bigger range as compared to this one, 2147483647. Bigger range I want, so just go for it. Little bit bigger range of memory, sorry, bigger range of data will be stored. And as I'm taking more bigger range, obviously memory size will also increase. So here for the long type, how much memory will be consumed? 8 bytes of memory. 8 bytes of memory size will be consumed. 8 bytes of memory size will be consumed. And how much value it will allow to store? It will allow to store value within a bigger range here. Okay, more bigger range. What is that range? Range will be minus 9223372 what was that? 854775808 to positive value 922337203 7203 685 477 5807. One small value. First value, if you remember, minus side, if you remember, means positive one is nothing but just one small value. Okay, now what JVM is doing when JVM is asked to create this long population, JVM is consuming some memory. The memory will be of 8 bytes, and the memory will be of 8 bytes. Okay, memory will be of 8 bytes, and it will allow to store the value within this bigger range. Now the memory will be named as population. Memory will be named as population. Simple story, na? You want to take the screenshot? Take the screenshot, guys. This will be helpful for you. Table I'll write, the table I'll give, but this screenshot you take so that you can understand. Okay, variable is create. We ask the system to create a variable, means this is what system will do in the background. That's what. Take the screenshot of this. No issue due to job if you're not able to join the live class. I have actually started, I have created a playlist for you guys where the videos will be there in a shorted order. If yesterday's live session you couldn't attend, then you can just go through that videos. The live sessions will be there in YouTube. Okay. Don't worry, I'll not remove the live sessions. Okay, done with the screenshot now? All right, now don't forget to keep this in your notes, guys. This is very much important. You guys must make note. Don't think like I have taken the screenshot, I'll put it in the mind. It never happens. It's not possible. There are a lot of screenshots, a lot of PDF, a lot of photos you have got from your friends to learn something. But it is still there in the gallery. It didn't come to your brain. So that's why after taking the screenshot, make sure that you make it. Okay, you practice it. If you'll not note it down in your notebook later, pakka you'll forget everything. It looks easy, but all of a sudden, if anyone will ask you what is the range, you'll be like, khatam. Okay, that's why please write it once. It will be printed in your brain. You'll not forget. 1 to 2 times you just have to revise it. That's it. Don't take it lightly. Sometimes the very much easiest question only becomes the reason for getting rejected in the interviews. So that's why don't take it so much lightly. Just make sure you try to remember it. And to mug up it, simple story I said, take these values as mobile number. You want to make a call to byte. What is the mobile number you'll make? Minus 128. Either minus 128 or 127. So that becomes a range for you. Okay. All right. Now, these all are coming under integer type literal. Okay, these all are coming under integer type literal. If you want to store integer type literal in a variable, so these are the data types you'll take: byte, short, int, long, float. So these values minus 128 to 127, minus 32,768 to 32,767, this bigger value, this much more bigger value, this values comes under integer literal. And for integer literal, you take support of byte, short, int, long, depending on your requirement, how much memory you want to take and how much range you are going to store. Clear? Okay. All right. Next. Suppose you are going to create a variable using char. What is this char? Char is another primitive data type which is mainly used to create variables that will allow you to store single character at a time. Single character. Character means it can be any letter, single digit, 0 to 9, single digit. Digit is different here. If digit you are storing as character means the meaning will be different. Don't take it as number that time. The character value different that time. Background it means different thing. Single letter, single digit or single symbol enclosed within single quote. all the characters, single character will always be enclosed within single quote. So let me take a character for grade. Okay, we have grade system A, B, C, D, like that. In schools we got the grades, no? So let's say those grades only I'm taking. A, B, C, D grades are there. So for the grades, let's say for example A, you want to say the grade is A. So let us take some memory in the background. Char grade. First of all, let me ask the system create a variable named as grade. And when I ask the system to create a variable named as grade with the type char, what system will do? Here, system will allocate some memory. System will allocate some memory for the grade. System is allocating some memory for the grade. Now, what will be allowed to store in this grade? In this memory grade, in this variable grade, you are allowed to store only single character. That single character can be any single letter, single digit, or single symbol enclosed within within single quote. Now, how much memory has to be taken here? Here you are going to consume, your system will consume 2 bytes of memory. 2 bytes of memory size. The system will consume 2 bytes of memory size. Now, what will be the range? Range is nothing here. Range is just any single letter. You can take any single letter, single digit 0 to 9, single digit 0 to 9, or single symbol enclosed within enclosed within single quote. Single quote. Okay. Single letter means what? Single letter means within A to Z, or lowercase a to lowercase z. But within single quote, you have to write these characters in single quote. Okay, in single quote you write. Okay, next, single digit. What is the single digit? Single digit means within 0 to 9. 10 you cannot write. 10 becomes 2 digits. So within 0 to 9 in single quote you write, it becomes a character. Single symbol. Single symbol. What is this symbol? Right? Symbol, whatever you see in your keyboard, right? Those are symbols. Let's say for example @ symbol, then for example dollar symbol, for example let's say asterisk symbol, etc. This all comes under symbol. But make sure you are taking character means you have to use single quote and put the character enclosed within the single quote. Otherwise, you will get error. All right. Okay. Now, next what we will do is we will see one more variable. Create a variable using Boolean. Now, people who have subscribed to my channel, for them, someone has subscribed, not subscribed, those things I want to see. So for that, I will take a variable Boolean. The channel is subscribed or not. Channel subscribed. Through your account, channel is subscribed or not. So for that, either yes or no. Is subscribed yes means true. Subscribed, not subscribed, false. If subscribed means true, if not subscribed means false. So I'll suggest you guys, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Okay, please subscribe to the channel. Every time I may not be like posting it in the LinkedIn, Instagram, and your WhatsApp that we are starting live. So please subscribe to the channel so that you'll get the notification automatically every day. Sometimes I may start the session, the webinars. Anyhow, for the webinars, I'll be like posting it. But sometimes if I'm free all of a sudden, so in that case, I'm interested to discuss about the DSA or something like that. So in that case, I'll start it directly live without posting anything. Okay, because posting again and then taking the data, sending mails to everyone becomes long process. Time is getting wasted. So that's why if you keep it subscribed, then obviously you'll get the notification. Okay, now let's see. Boolean is subscribed. When I ask the system create a variable named as is subscribed, then how will I tell the system? I'll ask the system like this: Boolean is subscribed. Boolean is subscribed. Boolean is subscribed. Okay. Now what is the meaning of this Boolean is subscribed? Boolean is subscribed means system take some memory from the RAM. That memory that you are taking from the RAM, please name the memory as is subscribed. Name the memory as is subscribed. Is subscribed. The memory will be is subscribed. Name of the memory is subscribed. So if you want to access this memory where true or false is stored for representing subscribed or not subscribed, so for that you can reuse this is subscribed. Now what will happen further apart from this? What else will happen? Memory size we need to specify. How much memory will be consumed here? Here you are going to get 1 bit of memory. Here you are going to get 1 bit of memory. Let me take here 1 bit. 1 bit. 1 bit of memory. And especially it is JVM dependent also sometimes. Basically, for rough figure, we say 1 bit. Okay, if interviewer will ask you how much memory will be consumed by the Boolean type variable, just say Boolean type variable will consume 1 bit of memory size. 1 bit of memory size. Okay. Now what is allowed? What is the range? It allows only true or false. No single quote, no double quote, and not even uppercase. Just write it as it is. True, either you write true, don't change the case, or you write false. That's it. Got it? Okay, now let us create a variable using float. Now let's say for example for the float I'm taking a fare. Okay, what fare? That day we used double for the fare. Today we are using fare. Sorry, we are using float. All right, now what this float will do? I will be using float and double mainly for the variable where I can store decimal values. Okay, but the range will differ. Okay, the range will differ. So float fare. Here, when I say system create a variable named as fare by the type float, here, come over here, right? Here, float fare. What does it mean in the background? When I say float fare to the system in the background, what will happen? Let us see. Here, little bit of memory is taken in the background. Some memory I'll take from the RAM. Okay. Don't go with the size of these boxes. Just for understanding purpose, I'm writing. Don't go with the size of the box. Okay. Some boxes are small, some boxes are big. Don't do like that. Okay. Now over here, let me name it as fare. Let me name it as fare. Now, all right. Okay. Now let's see. This float type basically we use for representing for creating variable which can allow us to store decimal value. Now the question arises, decimal value are all same. What is the difference here? Okay, you take float, JVM is going to allocate. If you take float, JVM is going to allocate 4 bytes of memory size. JVM is going to allocate 4 bytes of memory size for this variable here because it is float type. Okay, then how much range will be there? Here range will be based on decimal digits. So here it allows hash to max 6 to 7 decimal digits. Okay, 6 to 7 decimal digits you'll get after the point. You want more like what do you say, accurate data. So in that case, for scientific calculations and all, so in that case you go for double. So for that, let me take one variable directly over here, double what I will say, let's say for example some distance we are taking, distance within planets I will take. Okay, or let's say distance within one tower to another tower. Okay, so for that, accurate data I want, like more accuracy, 6 to 7 digits. After that also some more digits can be there, we round it up, but I don't want that, I want the exact. So in that case, I'm asking the system takes a memory from the background in the RAM and then name the memory as distance, naming the memory as distance. Okay, how much memory will be consumed? This double is going to consume more as compared to the float. So it will take 8 bytes of memory. 8 bytes of memory size. Then how many digits it will allow? It allows not exactly but nearly, I can say 15 digits I can say. Okay, it allows nearly approximately 15. Sometimes 16 also happens. Approximately 15 digits. 15 decimal digits. 15 decimal digits. Okay, now you see. All right, here now I have given all the types, all the primitive types I have given over here. Okay, we started with byte. So first byte, second short, third int, fourth long. They all come under integer type. Char, different type. This is the fifth one. Boolean, another type for the conditional values, sixth type. Float, seventh. Double, eighth. So total 8 types I have given. All 8 primitive types I have enlisted here, and what they are used for, what they will do in the background, if any variable created with the support of them, that also I have told you. So up to here, I guess there is no confusion. So now you have got some basic idea, like in real time scenario, which data type you are going to use for which situation. Is it clear? Okay. All right then. So today we completed the primitive types with some basic example. Tomorrow we are going to continue little bit programs first. Using this primitive type, small programs will start. After that, we'll study this referenced type, nothing but your non-primitive types. Okay, this table now you can fulfill. This table you can fill now by the reference of this diagram. By the help of this diagram, you can fill this table now. Na? Please do it as a task. Today's task is from this diagram, take support of this diagram and fill this table. Okay, up to range you fill. Here wrapper class we'll discuss tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll also discuss the reference types. Okay. Now, final question. How many primitive data types are there? There are how many types? What you will say? 2 types, 3 types, 4 types, 6 types. What you will say? How many types of primitive data types are there? Total count. Total count 8 types. Very good. Total 8 types are there. What are they? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. These are 8. Total count of primitives is 8. 8 primitive data types are available. And all these data types are one keyword. So they must be used as it is. Don't change the cases. They are keywords. Okay, don't change the case. You have to use them in lowercase only. Don't change the case. You try to change the case, you'll get error. Okay. For Boolean, you will not get error because if you change the case of B to uppercase, it becomes wrapper class. But change the case in between here somewhere, you'll get error. Okay. These all are keywords. All the keywords are not data types, but all the primitive data types are one keywords. Keep that in mind. And there are total 8 primitive data types. Khatam. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to continue with the remaining. Okay. So this much for now, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.